Are you bored of playing defensive supports? Or maybe you love playing greedy ones, but you keep losing when you AFK farm with Furion or Zeus? If that's the case, I've got the perfect hero for you. Death Prophet is a rising meta hero. Her tempo as position 2 or 3 is unmatched. She farms fast with her Q, and her E gives her great sustain and lane domination. But what if I told you that most of what she does as a core can transition to what you do as a support? I do believe the hero fits position 4 role perfectly. Early on you want lane presence, and guess what? You've got 600 range and decent damage. As for rotations, you're quite mobile as a hero, so that's fine for you. The lack of stuns or slows is compensated by the fact you can dive towards your E. And then having a silence versus heroes like Ember or Queen of Pain is very useful. Then, you have a farming spell that you really want on position 4, especially the lower MMR you go. So you've got a very good lane presence, decently good at rotations, and then you've got a great ultimate. And due to the nature of the hero, you can basically become a 4th core. I think a lot of the meta 4s got hurt by the Glype new change few patches ago, and it no longer combines with the Maelstrom. So all the classic range 4s that can transition are naturally worse. Weaver, Mirana, Hoodwink and so on. While they are still strong, that item change doesn't help them. On DP however, you would never build the old Gleipnir anyway, so in a way this item change doesn't really affect you. There are games now that you would like to build it as well. It increases your AoE of your spells, and sometimes you can cover almost entire screen with the silence. Let's break it down. At level 1, she gets to secure the range creep for just 80 mana. At level 3, you get 2 charges of your E, which at that point is 300 heal and nuke per charge. For comparison, Mech costs almost 2000 gold and heals for less, and it also deals no damage. It can be tricky to land, sure, but if you start in a good position, you can run people down with it. Crazy, isn't it? And at level 6, you get an ultimate that shreds both heroes and towers. Obviously, as a support, you will hit level 6 bit later than a core DP, but here's the thing. Exorcism still does the full damage no matter what items you have. Death Prophet spells don't scale of items. Obviously, they help her what she already does, just better. That means you can buy whatever the game calls for. Enemy has Morph? Go for Vessel. Need more control? Grab an Athos. Want to run around the map with your team and dominate? Drums are great. For the record, I played as position 4 as it's my main role, but I think it's perfectly fine to do it as 5 as well. You've got a longer lane for usage of your E, and due to the nature of your spells, you control the small camp way better. As for the lane partners, your best bet is a beefy offlaner who draws attention and ideally brings a stun or slow. I had a great success laning with Cinder and Skunka. The combo of X-Mark and Torrent lets you connect Spirit Siphons reliably and trade efficiently. In general, you want any kind of control that helps you land your E and stay in range. That said, this is just a preference. Death Prophet is one of the heroes that can 1 vs 2 in a lane with a good positioning and resource management. If your offlaner is just farming and not feeding, you can often create pressure alone. Certain heroes just make the lane even easier. Personally, I like going Earn first. It boosts your damage and gives you a bit of everything you need. After that, I usually go for drums, aiming to upgrade them later. It completely ruins an enemy using slows on you, and that's the only thing you hate. Sometimes arcane boots are necessary. Mana management is the only real issue on this hero. I strongly suggest going 2-1-2 by level 5. You're a support, so when you hit level 6, you need to protect yourself while pushing. 2 points in E at level 3 is non-negotiable. It quadruples in efficiency, doubles the damage and gives you 2 charges. Max Q first for wave clear and poke, but don't skip the silence. It's a long duration and disrupts a ton of heroes. Also, your best friend early game is a blood grenade. It's often the difference between you getting a kill and someone getting away. Once you hit level 6, your job is to take the tower, ideally with a kill. Your first exorcism has probably all the spirits buffed up, and your only job is not to die while it's running. In this game, however, I used it to steal the enemy stacks. Afterwards, farm a camp or 2, Without your ultimate, your impact early on is limited, and unless your cores have a big timing coming up, it's okay to chill for a bit. Getting a neutral items is important too, so don't rely on your cores farming camps. Go get your own around 15 and 25 minute mark. Remember, your ultimate is for objectives. Towers, Tormentors and Roshan. Yes, you can probably solo Rosh with enough levels in your E. I haven't tried it yet myself, but it seems possible. Fights can be tricky. On one hand, you want to use your ultimate and run in, but that makes you number one target. Can you survive that? If the enemy cannot burst you quickly, go for it. Drop your E on one or two targets, kite in circles, and let the healing do its work. If you can get bursted, however, play on the edge. Cast your Q and silence, use your items, and only commit after the big enemy spells are down. In some games, it's even worth holding your ultimate if you can win the fight without it. Then pop it afterwards and take the objectives. Risky, but high reward. As for the talents, at level 10, I strongly suggest you get 12% magic resistance. I think 40 attack speed is very strong, but you won't be able to right click much with support DP, but obviously if you're allowed to, go for it. Then, at level 15, your Q cooldown is a great thing, but don't underestimate the silence AoE. It lasts 5 seconds, it has 10-second cooldown, around 10 seconds cooldown at level 15, and it's huge in certain matchups. However, I would say 80 to 20 for the Q cooldown. Then, at level 20, always take the HP. At this point, it's all about surviving long enough to get value out of your spells. As for the tips and tricks, make sure you get all the small mana items you can get. So clarities, mangoes and raindrop. Manage your mana. Sometimes it's fine to go back to the base with full HP after you've used the ultimate and you need to be fight ready for the next one. There are games I would consider taking the other facet as it helps you survive the burst. Keep in mind you can avoid some instances of damage with that facet and Yule Scepter. So in matchups like versus Magic SF or Earthshaker, it can be useful. In most games, however, I would go for Spirit Collector. Your ability to melt buildings as a support is matched only by heroes like Jakiro or Shadow Shaman, but they can't tank or fight like DP can. This hero helps you dominate the map like no other support. It has its downsides, but with the right positioning and item choices, you can completely take over games as position 4. This is the hero I'm aiming to spam over the next few weeks. I think she's just that good. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Dota support content, like the video and let me know in the comments what you think about the support Death Prophet. See you next time! To let you know, in 2 days I will be releasing my own replay on the channel in 11k average lobby with me playing Death Prophet 4, and I will be doing the commentary on it, what's going through my mind in every moment. Basically the same thing I did with the first video on the channel about the Wind Ranger.